Hello, good afternoon to you. The London match welcomes you to White Hart Lane. We've got a feast of football lined up for you over the next couple of hours or so, including the highlights of this match here. Spurs against Southampton and the latest developments in the Tottenham takeover story. Our main match comes from Bramall Lane, where Arsenal, Spurs, FA Cup semi-final opponents next weekend play revitalised Sheffield United. Now, the London match cameras are at every other First Division ground as well. It really is a crucial weekend. The Barclays League entering the final straight, and we'll show you all the First Division goals later on in the programme. And we'll also be keeping an eye on West Ham and on Millwall as well, as they battle to get out of the Second Division. We've got a special feature as well. It's the Rumbelows Cup final in a couple of weeks' time. It's their 30th birthday, and we'll be looking back on some great matches and some great memories as well, including Spurs' 2 victories back in the early 70s. Let's start with our main match, though. We go north to Bramall Lane, where Arsenal look to tighten their grip on the First Division title against Sheffield United. But Dave Bassett's side, they've shown championship form to get themselves out of trouble. Your commentator at Bramall Lane, it's John Helm.
Yes, there hasn't been a more deserving recipient of the Barclays Manager of the Month award all season than Sheffield United's Dave Bassett. He collects the award in front of adoring fans who appreciate the marvellous job he's done here at Bramall Lane. His only worries in team selection were how to replace Northern Ireland international Colin Hill in the centre of defence following Hill's injury and defeat at Forest on Monday. There was a slight doubt too about John Pemberton. Well, the fullback is fit, and so again is Bob Booker, so he comes in for Hill. Arsenal have been beaten only once all season, so George Graham, not surprisingly, sticks with the side that destroyed Aston Villa 5-0 in midweek. Youngsters David Hillier and Kevin Campbell are in such impressive form they again keep Michael Thomas and Perry Groves on the substitutes bench. There's no place at all for David O'Leary. Referee Vic Callow from Solihull in the Midlands is paying his 3rd visit of the season to Bramall Lane. In fact, the season kicked off here with him in charge when Liverpool beat Sheffield United 3-1. Vinnie Jones and Tony Adams are the day's captains. Arsenal in a change strip of yellow and dark blue, attacking the Kop. And Vinnie Jones with his first touch of the ball, finding Brian Dean, and Bradshaw is out wide right. Sheffield United, red and white stripes as always, and Jones once more hooking the ball forward. Free kick already awarded by referee Vic Callow. Nigel Winterburn with the first free kick of the game then for Arsenal. Sweeping rain here at Bramall Lane, so far from pleasant conditions. There had been a rumour that the match might well kick off late because of a hold-up on the M1, but that happily has not turned out to be the case. And we're off on time. Steve Bold in outstanding form for Arsenal recently. Bryson for Dean. Now he's got 3 Arsenal men around him. He's good at holding the ball up, and he gets it inside the penalty area. Squeezes the ball out left for Hodges, who's got a second chance, and Hodges has done really well here. Tenacious running by Hodges. Did well not to be brought down, or at least Arsenal did well not to bring him down in that situation. He's become a really popular player here at Bramall Lane. And spells, of course, at Watford and Crystal Palace. Gannon, good ball in, and there's the header over the top. It's from the captain, Jones. And the expression on the face tells the story of how good an opportunity it was for the skipper. He'll feel he should have buried that one in the back of Arsenal's net. Down the middle goes Smith, and here's a chance. Campbell's in here in the penalty area and scores for Arsenal. Kevin Campbell can do no wrong at the moment. It's his 8th goal in 10 games, and Arsenal's fans are celebrating already inside the first 10 minutes of the game. The crucial flick on was by Smith, Campbell held off the challenge of Booker and stroked it wide of Tracy into that net. And Arsenal have a precious advantage. And the 21-year-old has struck again. Amazing to think that last season he was twice loaned out. But we'll look again here as there is an appeal for a handball, and that is awarded on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. 1-0 Arsenal lead. Campbell loaned to Leicester City and Leyton Orient last season, but now scoring goals on a regular basis for Arsenal. But here is Sheffield United's chance of an immediate retort. The wall is held. Gannon and Hodges over the top. So Hodges couldn't do what Campbell could do at the other end. And for Kevin Campbell, a remarkable sequence continues. And that's why the Arsenal fans are chanting his name and chanting 1-0. Hodges, and again Dean gives chase and holds off Adams for the moment as well. Tries to get around him, brought down by the Arsenal captain. It was a clumsy rather than a cynical challenge, and Dean is a very tricky player to contain. He's awkward. And United have another chance from Hodges. Back post, and the header is over the top. Bob Booker, who gets up so well. He scored twice here against Southampton in a match a couple of months back, and in he comes here, but can't turn on it. They've had chances inside Arsenal's penalty area. Well, hospitality as such here at Bramall Lane is that some of the fans are actually accommodated on the old dugouts that the trainers used to use, while on this side of the ground in the open air and the rain sit the two teams and their coaches. Lee Dixon with the throw-in. Surprised Davies hasn't come to afford him another option. And then they didn't need him, and it comes instead to Hillier. The ball is long and it's good as well, and Limpar takes it up, and Pemberton might well be beaten here. Across and well saved. Tracy getting down full stretch. Well, a bit of an altercation between Vinnie Jones and Alan Smith. Referee Callow stepping in quickly, but he's got to sort this one out. The sort of heated confrontation that happens in that one moment. The ball was whipped in by Anders Limpar. Tracy got down well, and Jones felt that Smith continued his challenge. Booker also involved. And we'll have another look at that. Limpar trying to get on the outside of Pemberton, whipping it in with that left foot. Now down goes the keeper. Booker trying to shepherd it back, and Smith just nudging him out of the way. It was all something and nothing. One does wonder why players get involved like sometimes. Dean. The back pass good once more though from Gould. Brian Dean, former Doncaster Rovers man, who's hit the target for Sheffield United 54 times in a couple of seasons here in the league. 15 this season, but we watch now as Campbell streaks onto that ball and gets it across, and Alan Smith was literally, well, a foot away, 2 feet away perhaps. But a rapier-like thrust from Arsenal showing just how dangerous they can be here. Campbell's ball in, and he stumbled, did Smith, otherwise it might have been 2-0. Campbell's running posing a lot of problems for United. Good and long, and although Dean couldn't get in, Hodges could. Bryson looking for the back heel, read by Hillier. And here is a promising 21-year-old in David Hillier. And Bryson had tried something a bit different. Hillier saw what was on. Bryson having a purple patch, 4 goals in the last 6 games, not yet today. Dixon. It's a good battle between Booker and Smith. half an hour gone then at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 1. Kevin Campbell after 10 minutes. Missed out Merson, who now takes it on and whips a shot in, and it didn't miss by more than a couple of feet either. Confidence born of 14 goals this season. Paul Merson, it would have been a strange goal. Hit with the outside of the right boot, sliced wide of Jones's head, and not more than a couple of feet wide of the upright. It's a Sheffield throw because of the tenacity of Ian Bryson. And this time he says to Jones, "I'll take it," and Jones crosses in, and Dean's coming for it. Seaman, though, able to hold on. It was Booker's first header. Ooh, Barnes controlled it and then hit it straight at his colleague Beasley. It's a good job he didn't put it over him. Campbell was lurking. Hodges down for Barnes, who can't get outside of Adams. Sheffield United trying to prise open this Arsenal defence in the last 4 minutes of the half, as Dean does well again. He keeps winning the ball in the air, but this time it's been bowled out quickly for Seaman, and this has given Limpar half the field to run in. Campbell calling for it ahead of him. Here's Campbell, can he get his second? It's across the face of goal. His pace, though, there for all to see again. He gets into a good shooting position. He'd have been very lucky to score from that angle, though. But it just shows the way his mind is working at the moment. He must feel he can score goals from anywhere. And Limpar delivered a good pass to him. 2 minutes to the break. As Dean heads on, and Bryson again is beaten to it by Adams. And now Arsenal are defending confidently with their England man back at the heart of defence. Dean has come to collect. And I think we might anticipate yet another long Vinnie Jones throw here. Dean goes to the near post, Bold goes with him. Alan Smith's come back to help out as well. We don't want to concede anything just before half-time. Barnes trying to line it up. Oh, it's a terribly bad ball, really. And Merson breaks, Campbell's on the inside. Still Merson goes on, and it's nudged back to his goalkeeper by Hodges. Perhaps if Merson had delivered the pass a little earlier, Campbell might well have been in for a second. And Barnes, who'd given the ball away in the first place, uses his head and apologises, I think, the referee there, because he hadn't heard the whistle. He hadn't heard something, and the decision went for Sheffield United, but in a way went against them. He could have played an advantage. Gannon, then. Closing seconds of the half. Booker was in for it. Had to come back to Pemberton because from Pemberton to Tracy, Limpar had given chase. Hardly any injury time to be added on at all, and in fact at that moment referee Kello decides that we've had 45 minutes here, and a good half-two for Arsenal. They took the lead on 10 minutes with Kevin Campbell's goal, his 8th in 10 matches, and they've preserved that lead up to the interval. Half-time, Sheffield United 0, Arsenal 1. Welcome back to Bramall Lane with the Sheffield skyline, a grey, drizzly day, but the football has certainly been entertaining, and we've a bonus for you coming up after we've spoken to the leading figures from this match. We'll have all the other goals from the First Division for you. And Campbell is the man whose name is on the score sheet so far in the game. which is why Arsenal lead by a goal to nil as we restart. Winterburn's first touch almost deserted him. As a result, it's picked up by Dean, and the swinging ball in capably dealt with by David Seaman. Seems some time since Seaman was playing here in the Central League as a Leeds United reserve. Jan Lukic, of course. That is a long kick, very long in fact, and Campbell again tries to use that searing pace of his to get in behind the Sheffield markers, but they've broken, and Dean plies the ball through the middle for Bradshaw. What an excellent ball that was, and it clipped the heel of Winterburn. Otherwise Bradshaw was through. It's a lovely ball played in by Dean. And it's by no means been an easy afternoon for Adams and Bold. They well remember the meeting at Highbury earlier this season when Sheffield actually led by a goal to nil at half-time before Arsenal won 4-1. Jones with the throw-in, Booker the flick on, Bradshaw, Dean goes in, and Seaman from his line just in time. But early encouragement in the half for Sheffield United. Jones with the long throws will always pose problems. It's Booker going in for it, the little flick there. Bradshaw just couldn't force a way through, nor could Dean. Once more it's long from Seaman, and Campbell hustling for it, has done really well here. Still Kevin Campbell falls now under the tackle from Booker, which was a good one, nothing wrong with that. And it bounces off Dean's knee, and then he hooks it into space. It runs through to the Arsenal goalkeeper. Towering kick again, and Bold, as a towering defender, was underneath it, but this is Hodges. Jones, well, we know he can hit them, and it's a good ball as well played by Jones. Was he bundled over? Well, Jones certainly will protest the referee, Callow. David Barnes coming into a really good position inside the penalty area. There's an excellent ball from Jones as well, and the inference certainly was there that Merson kept Barnes from getting onto the end of it, but Merson unpunished. And down on the Arsenal bench, Stuart Houston has been joined by George Graham. There he is on his right. Stroller, as they used to call him in his Highbury playing days. Gannon dallying a little. John Gannon back in the side after a 3-match absence, after being sent off at Roker Park. Dean, oh, and he has got past him, and he's cynically brought down this time by Adams. Dean had turned his man. The defender shook his head, but there's no doubt about it, he hauls Dean back by tugging at the shirt, and Tony Adams will certainly get a yellow card for that. Vic Callow explaining to him that Dean has passed him, he was in on goal. There was a clear route between Dean and the goalkeeper, but it will be a yellow card for Arsenal's skipper. Hodges will try and catch them unawares, but he's lofted it. And that's twice today that Hodges, with free kicks, has spurned the opportunity of getting the ball on the mark. Never looked like dipping. Bryson intelligently brought Pemberton into play. That's given them an extra option up here as Dean gets the header in. Bryson trying to tee it up for Gannon, maybe. A real old tussle going on there. Dean still winning it. Absolute mayhem back there, and that's a corner kick. And Arsenal's defence for the moment under intense and fierce pressure. Sheffield United have had such a string of good results here at Bramall Lane. They'll believe they can add to it even against the leaders. Vinnie Jones! He climbed well, but didn't direct the header. It's still here in play with Dean. It's a really good spell for Sheffield. So moments like this, it's hard to imagine that they went 16 games without winning one of them. Jones with a long throw. Seaman elects to stay on his line. Hooked out as far as Barnes. Bradshaw going in for it, but fouling Steve Bold, or no, Bold's... In fact, the free kick's given against Arsenal's man, Bold. I thought he'd been giving against Bradshaw for 5 foot. And these are certainly anxious moments for the Gunners. John Gannon with this one. Seaman on the line, bellowing instructions. It's curling in and flicked over the top by England's goalkeeper. His agility is excellent there. He also was very aware of where that ball was curling in. And it would have gone in, no doubt. The corner for Sheffield, up towards Jones again. Beasley can't get in there. Bryson can, and hooks it well wide. But a few moments ago, when Hodges took a corner kick, Vinnie Jones got in with that glancing header, and it went across the face of goal and was actually kept in by Brian Deane. He took up the chase, and then when it came in again from Gannon, David Seaman saw what was coming and flipped it over. Paul Merson replaced by Perry Groves for Arsenal then. Yeah, certainly about 20 minutes left. Perry Groves, who's hit the mark 5 times so far for Arsenal this season. But the first thing he's got to do is help defend against the Sheffield United free kick. Booker, here is Deane trying to turn on it. Excellent block by Adams. Already taken, and Bradshaw loops it in. Deane got a header in. Booker's in there for a next one. Out it comes from Seaman to Hodges. Deane, is he offside? No, he isn't, but can't get any power on his header. And still the frustration creeps in for Sheffield United. And George Graham doesn't have much to say at the moment. But is there an anxious look on the stroller's face at all there, do you detect? Davis, once more, Campbell would have been onside if he'd just got a foot in. Just over a quarter of an hour left as the ball hits Bryson on the backside, and he struggles to still make an impact on the edge of Arsenal's area. They are battling to get that ball out, and eventually they do so with Dixon. And here comes Campbell, and this is a real chance for Campbell to sew it up. He might tree it up for Alan Smith, and it's 2-0 for Arsenal. And surely now Arsenal are going to go 8 points clear of Liverpool at the top of Division 1. It's another goal towards the title. Alan Smith, the leading scorer in Division 1, has picked up his 22nd of the season. He hit it first time, and nothing Simon Tracy could do about that. Campbell scored the first, he's laid on the second, and the Arsenal roadshow goes on. It's 2-0 for Arsenal, and they must feel now as though they've got one hand on that championship trophy. Alan Smith then, 22 goals for him this season, 5 in the last 3 games. And Vinnie Jones not happy at all about the events of the last few minutes. I say Alan Smith is claiming 22 goals. The one that he claims on the first day of the season at Wimbledon was generally credited as an own goal by Keith Curle, but he's claimed that one, and hence the figure 22. But Sheffield United can count themselves unlucky to be 2 goals down to the potential champions, because they've certainly played their part in an entertaining match. They've had no luck where it's counted in the Arsenal penalty area, though. Don't forget, Arsenal have been beaten only once all season in the league. That was by Chelsea. So this was a predictable result, but certainly Sheffield United have come out of it with a lot of credit. Deane will will continue the chase in Sheffield United's cause. He gets into the area and across the goal it goes. Barnes might try and retrieve it from Groves. The Arsenal man wins that personal duel and brings it away. Oh, and he's shown good pace as always, Perry Groves. But then it comes back to Hodges. And it's Sheffield's turn to attack again, with Glenn Hodges trying to get on the end of Bryson's pass. And unfortunately, it's gone out of play for a goal. Vinnie Jones and Limpar, and Vinnie Jones really caught Limpar with a rabbit punch on the back of the neck. Went unseen. And Sheffield United will bring on Brian Marwood for the closing minutes against his old club, in place of Ian Bryson, who looks rather exhausted. Sure, Marwood would like to do well against the club that sold him to Sheffield. Not much doubt about that free kick conceded by Hillier. In towards Booker and towards Dean. A glancing header from Brian Dean. Floating wide of the left upright by no more than a couple of feet. He gets in so well, timed his run to perfection, but couldn't beat Seaman. So a fruitless afternoon for Dean and co. The ball is to Limpar. Bradshaw chased him back. And considerable complaints there about Vinnie Jones flying in on Limpar. And Jones, I think, is going to be booked certainly for this. And Vinnie Jones, I think, is saying that it's the Arsenal bench that have got him booked. He's going and in mock fashion claps the Arsenal bench. He feels that they got him booked there. He certainly dived in. And he gets a yellow card. And as Limpar, here is the tackle. Limpar dived over the top of it, but Vinnie Jones got the booking. Winterburn it is. Headed out, chance for Davis. Can't control the shot. Still 2-0 to Arsenal. Paul Davis in the process of sorting out a new contract with Arsenal at the moment. Well-established midfield player who scored his first goal during the week for a long, long time. Thomas. This time he has got it through for Davis, and the good ball in for Perry Groves, who could make it 3 here. Side netting. Groves felt it should have been a corner. It was a good move again involving Davis. And Campbell. But Arsenal have won the day at Bramall Lane and confirmed once again that they will be worthy champions if they do end the season ahead of Liverpool. Kevin Campbell got the opening goal in the 10th minute, and then Alan Smith, with about 18 minutes to go, got the second after Campbell had teed him up. He struck it swiftly into Sheffield United's net. Steve Bold, another outstanding display in defence for Arsenal, and valiantly though Sheffield United tried, they just couldn't topple the champions-elect. How great a psychological boost is it for you knowing you've now got 8 points clear of Liverpool?
Well, it's just nice to be in front. You'd rather be there than 8 points behind. That's all it is, really. We've got 6 games left, so that's the situation.
Do you find that every team raises its game against you?
I don't know, really. I mean, as you go into the end of the season, some teams aren't playing for anything, others are fighting relegation, so they've got their own causes to play for, and we've got ours.
I know, it's a nightmare, really. You know, 2 mistakes. I mean, you've got to put it down to 2 mistakes, and got us punished, and good luck to Arsenal.
In fact, when you look back, you had a header in the first few minutes of the game. I suppose if you'd have put that one in, it might well have been a different story.
Yeah, I'll be out this week practising my heading, because you know, my standards are better than that, and I should have scored.
As far as Arsenal are concerned, do you think they've proved today that they're going to be worthy champions?
I think they're trying to knock tighter and tighter. Psychologically, I think Arsenal Liverpool got to go out tomorrow whenever they play, and you know I think they'll be twitching a little bit.